Welcome into this episode of the Bass Pro Shop's Fisherman's Handbook. On today's show, we'll share insider tips and product reviews from top anglers and industry professionals that'll help you catch more fish, as well as have a more enjoyable time on the water. We begin by hearing from several touring pros as they share insight into settings they use and tweak to optimize their Garmin electronics.
All right, so Garmin has a unique feature that I really like. This is one of the Ultra Map systems, and you can see here on your mapping, they've got great contours. You can see all the detail and everything, but one thing that I like to utilize that sometimes people aren't is the shading option. And so what you're gonna do is just go to your options, you're gonna go to your layers, then you're gonna go to your water. And right here it has depth shading, and watch what that does to the mapping. You can see right there how much difference that makes as far as being able to see things. And then if you just wanna add one, you can see there's, so we're gonna make it, deeper out here in the main river channel. We're just gonna take and add a new one. The minimum depth is gonna be 20. Then we're gonna go to the maximum depth, it's gonna be, say, 500, and it's gonna light up our river channel. See what it did there? And you can just change that color to a blue, and then any place you've never been before and you know that that's a place you're not familiar with, just running that blue and you'll be safe. But see what this does right here? What it does is, see, it lights up this little tip on the end of this island. So that current's coming this way, then fish are gonna set up right there on the front of this. And you can see these real distinct little niches, places where fish are gonna get, and without that depth shading, you've got to turn around and see how that is. So what we'll do here is we'll go back and we'll turn that back off. See how much harder that is to see? With that on there, you can see that because the contour's there, but the depth shading and everything allows that to stand out so much greater. It just gets you more bites, you're more fishing on the water, and you can just see things a lot faster.
So one of my favorite things about the Garmin units is the quick keys. We have live scope, we have side view, clear view, all of these things. But several years ago, you had to go in and manually pull each page up. Yeah, we have these 4 quick keys, so I can go in and set up any picture that I want. Okay, so we're just gonna take this. Say this is my searching screen. I can hold the 1 button down, this page is saved. So say I'm here, I can go in and save that. So what I do on my unit at home, or what I do on my unit on the boat, I use my engine data. It's always number 4. Live scope is number 3. And we'll just do, we'll do a basic chart as 2. So we all have favorites, and we all want to customize our unit. So those are the 4 screens that I use the most. So I can just go back and forth. I'm searching, I'm idling, I'm looking. I need to check my engine. I want to see what's swimming around my boat. And I also need to see where I'm at. So those are my 4. That's my favorite feature. Even though it's simple, that's one of my favorite features about the Garmin unit.
It's time now for our first break in the show. Coming up next, we take a look at numerous products from TH Marine that help anglers with fish care initiatives. Keep it tuned right here for more. To see more great content and take your fishing skills to the next level, subscribe to the Fisherman's Handbook YouTube channel. Here you'll find how-to videos, product features, and in-depth breakdowns that'll help you catch more fish. Just scan the QR code on the screen now and subscribe. Welcome back to this episode of the Bass Pro Shop's Fisherman's Handbook. Fish care and conservation are key initiatives for an angler to keep top of mind for preserving this resource for future generations. TH Marine offers a wide line of products designed to protect and promote the live release of fish.
G'day guys, Carl Jockimson here, and behind me we have the full TH Marine fish care wall from start to finish. As a professional angler, fish care is everything to us. 1 ounce can be the difference between $10,000, $100,000, and we get penalised if we have any fish care penalty. So we want to really look after the fish, but it's not about that. It's about getting them back in the water happy and healthy so someone can catch them down the road. That's super important to all of us, and TH Marine has the full setup. So straight away, as a tournament angler, we have a cull system. This is the conservation cull system. Over here on the wall, you have the full pack, and it's going to come with 5 different clips, a balance beam setup, your bracket to hold them all to make it nice and easy, and you're just ready to go. This is the live well system that I have in, all colored differently so you can weigh them, balance them. But the biggest thing is that it's a non-penetrating clip. So this clip is unique to TH Marine. It's a pressure clip. You just open it up, close it on the jaw. When you take it off, the fish is in 100% condition and let go, ready to be caught another day. So that's the conservation cull system, perfect for your culling needs and keeping those fish happy and healthy. My next step is G-Juice. So we just fished Smith Lake. We had 100-degree weather. I was adding ice, and so adding G-Juice just takes all those little things that are in the ice, chlorine and stuff like that, and it seems to just calm the fish. It just puts that little bit of darkness in the water, and the fish just calm down. And so 3 days over Smith, I literally, in 100-degree water, I couldn't catch the spotted bass out of my live well. They were so happy, so healthy, and that's what I want when I weigh those fish in. I know they're getting released back into that lake, and that's how tournament fishing should work. So I always have G-Juice in the boat for up north on the smallmouth and then down south in the heat. It's a must-have. If you've got some fish going deep and you want to just balance them up, they have a conservation cull weight system, and you can clip that onto your actual buoy and pull the fish down and keep him upright. So everything is about not penetrating the fish with anything. It's about just letting that fish go to be 100%, and this is a great way to keep them upright if you've got them from down deep. The oxygenator, every single live well, like all of my live well on my Falcon, it comes with an oxygenator in the boat, ready to go. And this is basically just putting pure oxygen into the water, and that is a must for these fish. The more oxygen, the more bubbles, the more flow you've got coming through that live well, the healthier those fish are going to be. So my Falcon gets ordered stock standard with this in the boat every time. I don't even have to add it. And then last but not least, this is probably the one that people don't know about the most, but I think this has been the most important addition to my boat. It's the VT2 ventilation system, and these are going to get mounted into the lid of your live well. Each lid is going to have one, and what it's doing when you get on pad, it's pushing oxygen into the live well, and it's pushing the carbon dioxide, the bubbles, the buildup, all of the things that your live well can get after hours and hours of running, and it's just cleaning that up, and it's allowing those live wells to breathe, and it's cooling the water. And I notice the biggest difference out of all of these things when I don't have them and when I have them. So this is the first thing that I add to my Falcon when we get it in on the shop. So this is the live well ventilation system. So TH Marine has you covered when it comes to bass fish care and live well care, and everything you need to know about keeping those bass alive, happy and healthy.
Welcome back to the Bass Pro Shops Fisherman's Handbook. Fishing line has evolved into an item that is available in specific types to fit very precise needs for an angler. Professional angler Drew Cook joins us now to talk about his line setup for finesse fishing with a spinning reel.
Hey guys, Drew Cook here with Sunline. I want to run through a couple of my spinning reel finesse setups. What braid, what leader, all that stuff. Anything that I'm throwing in, say, less than 15 foot of water, especially when it's super clear, I'm gonna go with the Overwatch. And this is what I throw on my wacky rigs for largemouth. Most of my largemouth techniques are with the Overwatch. Smallmouth, anything that I want to see the bite, want to see where my line is, I'm gonna use the AMZ. It's really orange, shows up really well. And a lot of the times whenever I'm using forward-facing sonar, minnow, jig head, you know, shaking it, I'm gonna use the new All Might. It's a sinking braid, but everything is paired with V-Hard. V-Hard is my leader that I use all the time, anywhere from 5 pound all the way up to 16 pound. I use 16 pound on like a big fishery, like Santee Cooper. I'm throwing a wacky rig. I use 5 pound whenever you get really pressured fish, fishing around a lot of people for smallmouth. So those are my setups, FG knot connecting both of them. That's pretty much how I keep it. Orange AMZ, whenever I want to see the bite. Whenever I want to not let them see it, I want to use the Overwatch.
Once you've spooled up with the right line for a given technique, it's also important to utilize the proper knot to ensure the strength and integrity of your connection to the fish. Professional angler Cody Huff explains how the Sunline Knot Guide has helped him to tie the proper knots for his fishing applications.
Hey everybody, I want to take a minute and tell you about knot selection, with your Sunline, because, if you're not careful, you might tie the wrong knot that where the line crosses over itself, and, your line could cut itself. So you have to be kind of, educated on what line works well with what knot. Whenever I first started using Sunline, I didn't have a clue. So I just, I was tying different knots, and, the line was crossing itself, and, it caused it to cut itself. But, since I've started to learn more about Sunline, I started tying this triple tag knot. I actually, I found it on Sunline's website. They've got a knot guide on there, and I got on there and I was looking at all the knots and seeing, what line works well with what knot. And that's where I learned to tie the triple tag knot. And ever since I've started doing that, no more line breaking, no more, line cutting itself, because whenever you get everything just right, you don't have to worry about all that stuff. And now it's just second nature to me. But anymore, I don't tie a lot of knots. Since I got confidence in this triple tag knot, I tie it on everything that I tie anymore. I just stick with it because it works for me. And it might not be the triple tag for you, but you get on that knot guide, find the knot that works best for you, and just stick with it.
Anglers have to take into account a lot of variables for a day of fishing. This includes weather and clothing, current conditions, and how that impacts bait and line selection, and much more. Selecting the right cooler and live bait systems is also extremely important. We introduce you now to the new Engel cooler that is a must-have for any outdoor adventure.
I want to introduce you to our new UL60. It's the Ultralight 60 cooler. So Engel's had a full range of cooler options for you for quite a long time. Dry boxes, soft side coolers, rotomolds. But when you got into a bigger cooler that you needed, you were gonna have to go rotomold. And as we know, there's two big complaints maybe with a possible rotomold purchase. One, it could be a little too heavy for you. Two, it might be a little bit more expensive than what you want to spend. So what we decided to do was come out with the UL60. It's the first of a new line, injection molded coolers. We took about 20% of the weight out of these. We took about 30% of cost out of these. So it's a really nice cooler, performs right on par with our rotomolded line, but a lot lighter weight, a lot more accessible price point. So basic cooler, it's got all the great features you're used to experiencing with an Engel cooler, nice silicone gaskets, self-draining floor. This one has leveling bevels though in it, so no more of your beer bottles and cans falling over on each other as you try to load that in. These coolers come with the wire basket and divider included, comes with the cooler right out of the gate. We've got white and gray right now. We got 3 great new colors coming in about a month here at the end of summer 2024, including this awesome Fighting Lady Yellow. It's a classic color in the sport fishing crowd. We're really excited about it, but it's a fantastic cooler, performs really well, $199 at retail, so it's really, at 60 quarts, $199, you can't beat it.
Welcome back to this episode of the Bass Pro Shops Fisherman's Handbook. Beatdown Outdoors offers a complete lineup of high-quality products made in the USA that allow an angler to securely mount and utilize their valuable electronics. We hear now from a touring pro about the mount they use at the front of the boat.
This is the Beatdown Shorty double stack. I have two 12-inch Garmin units on it, and I have used this exact graph mount for the last 2 years on the Bassmaster Opens, from Okeechobee in Florida all the way up to Thousand Islands in New York. And there's several features of this graph mount that make it the only graph mount that I would put on my boat. The first is American made. Second is it's indestructible. It doesn't matter whether I'm making a 50-mile run, crashing 4 and 5 footers out on Lake Ontario. This thing, from the day that I've put it on, has been just as solid as it is today. The other cool thing is that it's adjustable. And when you're making a long run, one of the things you want to make sure with as much electronics as we're putting up on front is that you can have a maximized field of view from the driver's seat without any of these big graphs getting in your way. And you also want to reduce wind resistance to get more speed out of the boat. This has a very cool feature on this. You can just pull it and drop it down 4 to 6 inches. So now it's low profile. I have nothing in the way of my field of view, and I'm getting more miles per hour with less wind resistance. Every time I get to my spot, it literally takes 2 seconds. I'm ready to go. I have nothing in the way of my feet. The other cool feature about this is I fish team tournaments when I'm home in Oklahoma. And a lot of these graphs, a lot of guys, you got guys looking at the front of the graph, crowding it. This has a fantastic swivel feature, and I can angle this graph mount so that both people at the front, whether I'm bass fishing or crappie fishing, can see the mapping, can see the forward-facing sonar. Like I said, when I'm done for the day, I drop it down, lock it in place, and I'm good to go. Regardless of what setup you're looking for, single, double, or triple stack, go to beatdownoutdoors.com. They have a graph mount for you.
A fish hook is a very important piece of tackle for an angler, as it is their direct link to the fish. Gamakatsu develops technologies and hook styles to meet any angler's needs, from the latest nano alpha technology to modern takes on tried and true hook styles. Gamakatsu has you covered. Let's learn more now from one of the top touring pros about the latest products from Gamakatsu and their preferred hook styles.
All right, guys, today we're in the Gamakatsu booth talking about the new Nano Alpha coating from Gamakatsu. You know, right here, I've got one of the most popular hooks that there's ever been. This is an EWG style hook, and it comes with the Nano Alpha coating. All the most popular hook styles and shapes and sizes, we're just adding the coating to them. And the thing this coating does is it makes the hook 2 times slicker, but also 4 times more corrosion resistant. And obviously, like I said, I've got the EWG style hook right here. This is a big popular hook, and the main reason for that is the ease of rigging with this hook is what makes it such a fan favorite. You know, if you're rigging stick baits, toad style baits that go on top, swim baits, all that type of stuff, an EWG style hook is very easy to rig that bait perfectly straight. So you're going to generate more bites because your bait is so straight and it tracks to the water super efficiently, and it looks as natural as it can possibly look on an EWG style hook. So that's what makes it such a fan favorite, and now added to it with the Nano Alpha coating just makes it all around knock it out of the park type of hook from Gamakatsu.
Hey guys, Drew Cook here with Gamakatsu, and I want to talk to you about one of the hottest things that we have coming from Gamakatsu. The biggest technique in bass fishing is live scoping, jig head minnow. Well, we have the jig head for every minnow. It's the horizon heads. They have a round bend, regular wire. This is one of my favorites for a smaller bait, but it's from 1/0 to 3/0 and 3 different sizes. But once you get into those bigger baits, you know, those 4, 5, 6, even 7-inch baits, this horizon head has a tournament grade wire. They're all nano coated. This one has a big gap in it, so when you're throwing those 5-inch, 6-inch, you know, baits, that you get a good hook in them and they don't get out. You also have the same thing but with a keeper on it, so if you're, you know, throwing them in brush piles, trying to live scope. This is a huge thing right now with live scope craze. They're biting it. Make sure you check out the horizon heads from Gamakatsu.com.
This will conclude this episode of the Bass Pro Shops Fisherman's Handbook. We hope that you learned about new products, tips, and techniques that'll help you catch more fish during your next fishing adventure. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. This has been a Carico TV production.